So hi guys, this is Shadow Girl Sherry clocking into TikTok. I always find myself saying that, but tonight I kind of feel like maybe I should say, hi guys, this is Shadow Girl Sherry, ready or not, here I come. And what do I mean by that? I feel like saying ready or not, here I come because, um, guys, sometimes I find myself getting just a little bit nervous before, I, decide to go live on TikTok. And that kind of goes back to the first time that I ever decided to go live. And I've shared that story before. The first time I went live, if you're watching this right now, obviously you're into spirituality and all that, or else this live wouldn't even have like shown up for you. But so most likely you may already know what I'm talking about right now when I talk about the Lionsgate's portal. It's something that takes place every year. The height of the Lionsgate's portal is on the eighth month, eighth day, and it's a part of um, it. It has to do with Leo energy, and it's just a portal that's said to be. Uh, there's a lot of abundant energy that's available that you can work with during that portal or at that time, and it's Leo energy. So it's all about being bold and all that. And guys, I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry, but for that time, for the Lionsgate's portal, I decided that the way that I was going to be bold was that I was going to go live for the first time. And even though, I didn't show, you didn't, just like right now, you don't know what I look like. Basically, what you see is what for, showing who I am, you're actually seeing a picture of my silhouette instead of me. But so you don't know what I look like. You didn't find out what I look like for the Lionsgate's portal, whatever. But the one thing that I decided is for the Lionsgate's portal is that I was going to go live. And all the time leading up to that, I was making videos where I made the videos or I did a voiceover or whatever, but they weren't live. So I put myself out on the spot a little bit more, and I decided that I was going to go, the way that I was going to be bold was that I was going to go live. Um, and I actually found out that I really like going live. But every time, often find myself that every time that I decide to go live again, I've gone through the course of a day and I've drank coffee and things like that. And then by the end of the night, I'm kind of tired from that, but at the same time, I'm still a little bit worked up. And that's what I mean when I say ready or not. Like, am I ready to go live? But guys, I love going live, and I want to thank anybody, of course, that comes and joins the live with me. And guys, another reason why I have a harder time sometimes going live is because um, I'll go live and then because I have other things to do. I have family affairs, different things like that, and other different things that I'm juggling. I'll go live and I'll get so into it or whatever. And then it'll be because I've got other things that I've got to, take care of and so on and so forth. I'll find that it's been a while in between the times that I go live. Like the last time I went live was actually on New Year's Eve. And it was successful and everything like that. I forget how many people I had. It was like 1K, something like that. Anyhow, guys, but I went live for New Year's Eve, and I was a little bit wondering, is it going to be worth it to go live? Because, people are going to be out doing their own thing. Is anybody going to join me? And then it was very, very successful. And then I'm just like, okay, later on, I'll see if I can go live again to finish the subject that I was talking about. And I didn't get a chance to do it. So guys, basically it's been a while it's been a while since I've gone live or since I've made a video. The last time I went live, obviously, again, was New Year's Eve. But I want to jump right back into what I was talking about, what I opened the door to. I started talking about for New Year's Eve. And basically, guys, a little bit before I went, maybe a day before I went live, or the last time I went live, the day before New Year's Eve, I just kind of thought, okay, I'm thinking, do I want to go live? Am I going to go live? And then I'm like, okay, if I go live, I got to find something that is going to be, you know, something that's more, what's the word I'm looking for? I got to find something where people are going to want to actually come and listen because it's New Year's Eve. Like, I got to find something special to talk about. So I kind of asked my higher self, like, give me something to talk about if I'm supposed to go live. And guys, within no time, it came to me. Now, what did I decide to talk about for New Year's Eve? You're looking at it right now. Basically, what I decided to talk about for New Year's Eve going into New Year's Eve, or New Year's Eve going into New Year's Day, was basically the spiritual significance or the symbolic meaning of keys. Like all down the line, the spiritual significance, the symbolic significance or meaning, or all down the line, like what's the symbolism of a key, you know? And the reason why I decided to talk about that was obviously because we were going into a new year, and it's kind of like we were walking into a new threshold, walking into you might think of a gate or a portal, or you get what I'm saying. It was New Year's Eve going into a new year. And you'll have to go back and look at the video the last video that I made. It was all about, I started talking about the spiritual significance of a key. And in that video, it will be explained to you how I led up to what it was on my journey, what it was that made me think of the spiritual significance of a key. Like, why would I talk about that? All that's explained in the last video, and I don't want to waste too much time talking about that because, guys, again, I'm Shadow Girl Sherry. I am a Gemini. I've said that before on lots of my other videos. Most of my other videos, I've mentioned that I am a Gemini. And with that being said, Gemini, it's the energy of the twins. And Gemini is also deals with the element of, it's the air element. And you might think about being long-winded. And I've actually found that since I've started going live, I can be a little bit long-winded. Like I've gone like over 2 hours when I've gone live sometimes. I'm trying to think of how long it was, the longest I've ever went, but it was definitely over 2 hours. So anyhow, guys, I've got a lot of information that I want to cover tonight, so I got to get started on it. I wonder how long I've been talking already, but right now, guys, I'm looking at a candle right now, and the candle always kind of helps me to relax a little bit. Like as it melts, I find myself melting into the moment and melting into the live and relaxing and whatever. So anyhow, guys, I want to jump into this, and I'll go ahead and, start out by telling you what my channel's all about. My channel is all about my personal journey with the law of attraction. If you're watching this video right now, most likely you already know what the law of attraction is. This wouldn't have shown up on your For You page or whatever. I don't think so if you didn't know what the law of attraction is, but I'll go ahead and tell you anyway. The law of attraction is the idea that like attracts like. Through your whatever way you are thinking, the people you're hanging out with, the things you are doing. If you are thinking positive thoughts, hanging out with positive people, doing positive things, at least trying to reach for the most positive thought, trying to hang out with positive people, that kind of thing, then it's so said that through the law of attraction, you would be attracting more positive people into your life, more positive situations, more positive outcomes into your life. On the other hand, if you are constantly thinking negative thoughts, constantly hanging out with negative people, we all know them, the Debbie Downer, the Nancy negative, and not saying that you don't want to encourage people, because I deal with it myself, but again, that's what my channel is all about, is trying to take that energy, whatever's negative. The idea here is to transmute it into the positive. So I hope that you get what I'm saying. When you're doing negative things, hanging out with negative people, negative, through the law of attraction, you're attracting more than negative stuff back into your life. But with the positive things, you're attracting the positive back into your life. And that's the idea here on my channel. So guys, I also said that my channel is called Sunset Songs. Now, what is a sunset song? Okay. A sunset song, I'm sorry, guys, I should have turned my notifications and everything off. But anyhow, guys, let me continue as to what I was talking about. again, I call my channel Sunset Songs. So what does that mean? What does a song or music or whatever have to do with, you know, my channel and all that? I call my channel is about the law of attraction. But guys, I truly believe that music has a way in changing the way that you feel. If you are, you might find yourself, you know, being in like a bad mood, or you're tired or whatever like that. If you go and you listen to an upbeat song, or you know, if you're trying to, you know, clean your house or whatever, or there's that saying, whistle while you work. Um, if you listen to something, you know, this upbeat, it's going to give you energy. But if you want to calm down and chill and all that, then you might play a, you know, a more like a slow song. It could be a slow love song, whatever. And if you want to be all up in your feelings, it could be a slow, sad love song, whatever. But you get what I'm saying. And guys, I want to quickly say this as well, and I don't want to get off the subject, but guys, if you're watching this, you may be into the show, Stranger Things. I've talked about it a couple of times here on my channel, and I'm even going to be, that was one of the ways that I started talking about Stranger Things, and it led to houses and all this, that, and the third, and that's later on. I'll be going back to that again, but basically, when I say, I talk about music and everything and how music affects the way you feel, I truly believe that. If you want to feel like upbeat and all that, listen to a positive, upbeat song. You want to feel more low key, sad, whatever, then listen to, well, not sad, but um, if you want to be more chill and relaxed, then you would listen to like a slower, like soft song. You get what I'm saying? But guys, I am a fan of the show, or the, you know, Stranger Things, okay? And on New Year's Eve, they had their finale. It was the last episode of the show Stranger Things, right? And one of the things that I definitely, you know, it was definitely mentioned, or, you know, if you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about, the effect of music. And the effect that music can have on you, because it got up to the episode where, if you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. It started with the young girl, oh, what's her name, the redhead, Max, where she was, you know, basically someone played a song for her, and the emotions and the things that the song made her feel is what got her out of a really bad situation. And basically, when I watched that episode, it made so much sense to me, because I'm like, wow, that's really the reason why I named my channel Sunset Songs, because um I really do believe that music can change the way you feel. You could be so upset, you could be sad, whatever, or, you know, down and out, and then if you go and listen to an upbeat song, it connects you with a certain type of a feeling, whatever you're going for. And definitely Stranger Things prove that, right? So guys, I wanted to go ahead and say that. And on New Year's Eve, again, it was the very last episode of the show Stranger Things, and I didn't get a chance. I actually watched the I didn't watch it on New Year's Eve because, guys, I was hanging out with you all. But I finished watching Stranger Things. Um, I watched the last episode on the 11th of this month. And with that being said, you know, obviously, if you know about the show, you know that I'd say the main character of the show was the girl 11, right? And you know, numbers are talked about a lot on the show Stranger Things, right? And but for the first month, 11th day, I was thinking that I wanted to come and join you guys, and I wanted to finish up on the live that, you know, what I'm going to be talking about tonight, but it didn't work out that way. I didn't have all my information together, and I wound up watching the last episode of Stranger Things. And wow, guys, I'm going to probably come back some other time and tell you the crazy synchronicity that I had actually happen. And I am not lying to you. You know what? I'll go ahead and share it with you, because if you're watching this right now, um, I don't know, I guess you're just meant to hear it. It's so weird, and I hope that everybody believes me, but basically what happened was, um, oh, it was such, to me, it was such an emotional episode. Obviously, this was the last episode to the entire show, right? And the synchronicity that I had was a song that was featured in that episode, the last episode, was Purple Rain by Prince. Now, I'm a Prince fan, okay? And the funny thing about it was, guys, I had been wearing my purple, I have a Purple Rain shirt. I have the movie Purple Rain, and I have a Purple Rain shirt. I have a Purple Rain shirt that is purple, and I have a Purple Rain shirt that's black. Because the thing about it was, I had gotten one of the shirts, like purple or black. I don't know which one I had purchased first. But what happened was I forgot that I had already had one. So then I wound up buying a Purple Rain shirt and a black Purple Rain shirt. And for whatever reason, there has been a couple of times lately that I have, before I watched that final episode of the final episode of Stranger Things, I was wearing my Purple Rain shirt a couple of times, right? And when that, this really emotional part came on, oh my goodness, was that emotional? At least it was for me anyway. I'm a sensitive person. When that song started to play, and at that moment, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have been drawn to my Purple Rain shirt. I've worn it a couple of times recently. And when they played it, I'm like, oh my goodness, what a synchronicity. But anyhow, guys, let me jump into this, guys. So basically, that's not going to be the sunset song for tonight. But basically, what is a sunset song? A sunset song here on my channel, I came up with the idea. My channel's called Sunset Songs. What is a sunset song? Sunset song, the idea of a sunset song for me is what I do before I go live or I make any of my videos. I failed on it a couple of times where when I first started making my channel, where I didn't come up with a song, but for the most part, I try to come up with one for every episode for my channel, right? Every time I go live, whatever. I kind of pause and I ask myself, my higher self, like, I will lay things out and I'll have a particular subject that I'm talking about, that I'm going to be, talking about for that episode, right? And basically, I just tell my higher self, okay, my higher self, my spirit guides, my spirit team, whatever you want to call it, whatever. Give me a song, put a song in my mind or in my heart that's going to be tailored around the subject matter, whatever I'm going to be talking about for that particular episode. I basically tell my higher self, my mind, whatever, play a song in my mind, in my heart, put it on my heart. And that's what's going to be, I'm going to say that's going to be the sunset song for tonight. Now, again, I love the song Purple Rain, but that's not the sunset song. Later on, I'll wait for like Prince's birthday or something like that and talk about Purple Rain, right? But that blew me away when I had that synchronicity, right? Because no lie, it happened. Crazy synchronicity. But what's the sunset song going to be tonight? Okay. Basically, guys, I'm going to be talking about tonight the spiritual or the symbolic meaning of keys, right? Okay. I'm going to be breaking that down, okay? And so what song is the sunset song? The sunset, and if you're looking at this right now, if you have watched any of my other videos, and you already know that I have a kind of a different way in writing things out. Writing things in this way came to me during COVID. It was during the time of COVID-19. I got back into journaling and into writing and all that different stuff. And for whatever reason, I found myself writing things out in this different kind of a way, right? And you're looking at it right now. It might look like a little bit of a puzzle, but I just started writing things out during COVID-19. So basically, I'm going to help you you may have already be able to look at it and be able to tell what you're looking at and read it out, whatever. But if not, I'm going to go ahead and read it to you right now, like what you're looking at right now. Obviously, in the right-hand corner, you see the name of my channel, which is Sunset Songs. Okay. And then down from that, and there's the sun and everything like that. And, it's all about positivity here. Okay. It says the symbolic meaning of keys. Okay. And then you see Sunset Song. And then up from the song, you see Shadow Girl Sherry, right? That's me, Shadow Girl Sherry. Okay. And then under that, basically, what is the sunset song? It says it, sunset song. The sunset song for tonight being that we are talking about the symbolic meaning of keys. The sunset song for tonight is Diary. And you see that, Diary. And then down from there, the song Diary is by Alicia Keys. So basically, guys, what I want you to do is, guys, does anybody here that's watching it has joined this live? I see a Bob G, I see a JB99, guys. I see all these different names. I see a Meta, I see Karen. I can't pronounce that out right. I'm sorry. I see a Sue Ball, guys. Does anybody know, have you heard the song before, Diary by Alicia Keys? Somebody up here in the house has to know who Alicia Keys is, right? And obviously you know why this song, no lie, this song just came to my mind. I'm like, okay, the symbolic meaning of keys. Give me a song, and then the next thing that I know, what came to my thought was Alicia Keys, and she had a song called Diary, right? So guys, let me know here in the chat if you've heard the song. What do you think of the song? Whatever. Every time before I decide to go live, I try to listen to the song that I've decided is the sunset song to kind of get in the feel of the song and all that. And I obviously I listened to that before I decided to go live. And even though I did say that I'm worked up and everything like that, I am at the same time, like, I drink coffee and everything like that, but this song does, if you listen to it, it does have like a sedative kind of effect to it. And then you've watched any of my other videos, you also know again that I always, before I go live, I have something that I call a bit of a community altar. I don't want to keep explaining every little thing because I got a lot of information that I want to cover tonight. Basically before I go live and within each day, I have something that's basically like a community altar. And how it works is that it's a candle, and the candle is, I have a candle that I work with. I try to work with every day. And, I have the candle is a 3-wick candle. I've placed the candle inside of a pot, and the pot is kind of like maybe, something that you would put soup in. It has handles on it, and that makes it portable. It has a lid to it. It has a little place where, there's a ladle inside of it, and it kind of looks like, it kind of gives me the feel of, and I don't want to make it seem like, okay, it's, some, boring soup or whatever, or you get what I'm saying. The idea is for everything to be warm and inviting. And it's kind of like, say we were all, sitting at some big, long, like, table or something, right? We could all, like, take from the pot, maybe continuously keep filling it up or whatever. You get what I'm saying? But it's kind of inviting, whereas we could all share from the pot. And that was to give it a warm feeling, and just basically every day, for the most part. Some days, I'm not going to lie, some days I don't get a chance, but I try to work with it every day. And when I light the candle and everything, I'm always thinking about you guys. I'm always thinking about you guys. I'm thinking about the things that we're trying to manifest before whatever you're trying to manifest. It's not just for me. It's a community altar. It's for everybody that listens to my lives, the people, everybody that joins me. And basically, before I go live, I just kind of say a little something that you might call it a prayer, whatever. I'm just asking, like, the universe, God, whatever, kind of, bring the people to me that are going to benefit from what I have to say tonight, right? And I burn a incense. That's kind of like to clear the negative energy away, whatever. And I burn the candle, and then I go live. So anyhow, wanted to share that. And basically the song that, again, is Diary, and by Alicia Keys. And I played the song before, I went live and whatever. So it has a sedative effect. And I'm even thinking right now about one of the lyrics. It says something about, okay, Alicia comes out and she says something about maybe give all your fears or something to me, basically, and I'll be here. It's something like that. Your fears, give me your fears, and I'll be here. You get what I'm saying? You'd have to listen to the song, and maybe I'm not saying it right, but that even makes me think about how right now we are in Capricorn season. And Capricorn is about, you know, it makes me think of that root chakra. And, it's all about, it can deal with fear. Okay. If you're watching this, you may already know what I'm talking about, but it just made me think of that. It made me think about that when she said that, just that we're in Capricorn season. So anyhow, guys, let me jump into this. I want to say what's up to everybody. I've probably almost gone for an hour talking already. I told you guys I'm long-winded, but I see a Elizabeth Harry. I see a Mario. I see a Nikki. I see a Sue. Guys, I just want to say what's up. This is Shadow Girl Sherry. I want to thank you so much for joining me. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with my notes and everything and deliver the message to you guys, because I'm pretty excited to deliver this message, because I've had it in my heart and had it on my mind and so on and so forth for a while now, obviously, because today it's like, January the 14th, right? So we're active and we are into the new year, right? We've went through the 111 portal and everything. I've been carrying this for this long. Again, the last time I went live was on New Year's Eve into New Year's Day, and I've been wanting to go live, ever since, right? I've had this subject matter on my mind, but I've just been busy. It's all about balance and everything. And I finally found some time to come and deliver this message. And the night that New Year's Eve, when I first decided to go live or to bring this to you, I hadn't thought of the song or whatever, but it came to me, right? So anyhow, let me go ahead and get started on this, because I got a pretty good amount of stuff to cover tonight, right? And I don't want to keep stopping and going and whatever, because guys, I got to get started on the main thing that I've been wanting to deliver every month out of this new year of 2026, right? So let me go ahead and get started with this, okay? So I'm going to tell you a little bit first off about the song Diary, okay? Whenever I think of a sunset song, I like to come and give you information about the song, maybe the reason as to why it came to my mind. I want to tell you things about the song, the inspiration behind the song, and maybe a little bit about the artist, right? So I'm going to deliver that message to you now. Okay, had to take a drink as well because, yeah, I'm long-winded and, yeah, gotta have a drink. Okay, so anyhow, okay, Diary is a song by American singer-songwriter Alicia Keys. And guys, I get all this information offline. Some of this information I actually got off of Wikipedia, okay? So Diary is a song by American singer-songwriter Alicia Keys from her second studio album, Diary of Alicia Keys, okay, 2003. The song features American group Tony. It was released on May 24th, 2004 as the album's third single. The length of the song is 4 minutes and 44 seconds. Okay, guys, and if you're watching this right now, you most likely already know when you have repeated numbers, when you have a repeated number, 111, 222, 333, 444, and it goes on 555, 666, 777, 888, 999. It's like the number is being repeated, so it has a message for you, basically. And it's like an angel number. Might want to call it an angel number or a spirit number. You get what I'm saying. Okay. But 444, the length of the song, Diary, is 4 minutes and 44 seconds. So that makes it an angel number. And I thought, wow, what a great song, right? To talk about. I talk about angel numbers a lot. And the length of this song is actually an angel number, 444. Okay, 4 minutes and 44 minutes long. Okay, and I wrote down a little something, which is an angel number about structure, grounding. The angel number 444 is an angel number about structure, grounding, foundation, and stability. And again, this puts me in mind of the foundation of a stable home. When you think about stability, you think about the number 444. it makes me think about a stable home. Okay. And I want to mention this one thing really, and I made a little bit of a note about this. Um, I want to mention that the main thing I really want to deliver uh, to you guys, my viewers, in this year of 2026 is the idea of, we will say, a home, okay? Because for every month, guys, in every month of this year of 2026, I'm going to be talking about birth charts. I'm going to be talking about my birth chart, your birth chart, just birth charts. I want to put the idea in your mind to look at your birth chart. Look at your birth chart. A birth chart is made up. A birth chart is made up of 12 different houses. And for each month in this year of 2026, my idea is, I'll be discussing a different house, because just like there are 12 houses in your birth chart, there are, of course, 12 months in a year. Okay. And we just started this new year of 2026 out. So this is the perfect time to start talking about it. If there are 12 houses within your birth chart, there's 12 months in a year, and we just started this new year. This goes perfect, right? Okay. So with that being said, I just want you to, just keep that idea in mind. That's going to be what for every month of this year, I want to talk about, your birth chart. Okay. And it's only fitting. So anyhow, so keeping the angel number 444 in mind. Okay. Let me make sure I got all my notes there. Done with that. Okay. Gotta have my notes, guys, because I'm long-winded and I got to try to have some structure here, right? Okay, this fits perfectly into place because, again, it is this number 444 is a number all about structure. And I'll say from the ground up. The number 444, it makes me think about structure, working from the ground up. And we're starting with a brand new year. And being that this is January, this is just a good time to start talking about this because it's Capricorn season, right? So there are four corners, right? Four corners of a home. Think about stability and grounding. Think about a foundation. It makes me think about the idea that love makes a house a home. Okay, a good home has to have a stable foundation. Okay. And guys, just a few days ago, we also had the 111 portal. Okay. And that is, again, it's an angel number 111, the first month, 11th day. And again, that was, it said that a portal is said to be open on the first month, 11th day. Next month, it'll be the 12th month, or the second month, second day, another portal will be open. The third month, third day. You get what I'm saying, okay? But the portal, okay, I'm trying to get my notes together here. The first month, 11th day, that portal, it actually fell again within Capricorn season. So I want you to keep these things in mind. And guys, the first new moon. And guys, again, I've already said, you guys know that I'm into spirituality. You know what my channel is all about, obviously, whatever. But being that I'm into spirituality, I also think about the elements in nature. And I work with the phases of the moon, right? And if you're watching this, you may work with the phases of the moon as well. That might be why you were attracted to the video and into this live in the first place. Okay, so with that being said, I will go ahead and remind you that the first new moon of this year of 2026 occurs this Sunday. Okay, Sunday. The first new moon of 2026 occurs on Sunday, January the 18th. 2026 at 2:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and it will be a new moon in the earth, in this, the earthy sign of Capricorn. Okay. So guys, just keep that in mind. Mark your calendar, whatever. It's probably already on your calendar, because on my calendar, it tells me when the new moon is, the full moon, and everything. So, but if it isn't marked, you already know now, because Shadow Girl Sherry has told you. So yeah. So anyhow, so this is the first month of the year, and basically I have been hearing it said, guys, a lot in the spiritual community, and it makes sense to me that this month of January is basically the foundation. This month of January is the foundation from what the rest of 2026 is going to start or build from. So I want you to keep this in mind. We are right now, we are laying down the bricks. We're laying down the bricks right now, the foundation for the rest of the year. And that makes me think of a home. Like, what do you want? What do you want for the rest of your year to look like? Like, you're planting the seeds right now. We're being gifted a new moon in Capricorn. It's all about foundation and the structure and foundation and building something from the ground up. And again, that makes me think of a stable home. And again, this is Capricorn season, the very first month. Think positive. What do you want the rest of your year to look like? You're planting those seeds right now, okay? So, and now I'm going to go back to with all that being said, I want to go back to the details of the song Diary by Alicia Keys, right? I'm trying to keep all my notes together because I have a pretty good amount to cover tonight, right? Shadow Girl Sherry and I am talkative, so I have to make notes because y'all, I'll be all over the place. I'm a Gemini. Be all over the place. Okay, so guys, I want to say what's up to everybody again. I see a Rita Cobb. I see a John Drafton, I think. I see a BG45. Guys, I'm gonna quickly say this. I try to be careful about the names that I mention when I go into the live with the people that join my lives. Like, I want to thank everybody that joins my lives, but sometimes I don't know what it is. But I've said already that on other videos that if you're watching this right now, you may be the type to where, okay, this has shown up on your For You page. You may be the type to where, guys, you are looking at, you're listening to the voice of someone that calls herself Shadow Girl Sherry. With that being said, you are looking at a silhouette right now. You don't know what I look like. Now, with that being said, that kind of suggests to me in a kind of a way that maybe this might mean that maybe you need to do a little bit of shadow work yourself. Before I even started this, my going live or, anything like that, I had already decided that I was going to call myself Shadow Girl Sherry. But even when I first started calling myself Shadow Girl Sherry, I had no idea what shadow work was. And then the more I kept making videos, and I'm watching other people's videos, and I'm getting deeper and deeper into the spiritual community, things started getting sent to me. Like, the algorithm started sending me videos and things about shadow work. And I'm like, here, I'm calling myself Shadow Girl Sherry. And obviously, what's this telling me? The algorithm's sending me videos about shadow work. So if you're watching this right now, it may mean that maybe you should think about doing a little bit of shadow work. And, basically, when you watch my videos, it's kind of like we're going to be doing the shadow work together, right? And I find that comforting. Okay. And, but with that being said, you may also feel like you're the type to maybe you feel like, maybe you might consider yourself to be maybe a little bit witchy. And I don't know if I want to say witchcraft, because some people that might, scare some people off. They might take it the wrong way. And the way that I'm going to put it, I'm going to say here on my channel, to make you feel comfortable, I'm going to say witchcraft as in which way do you want to go? Do you choose to live life in like a boring, mundane way? You know what I mean? Like, which way do you want to go? Do you choose to look at life and try to look at things in a positive way? Or which way do you want to go? Are you going to choose the path of thinking negative? And my idea is here on my channel is every day is like a gift. Like, this present moment is a gift. And with the law of attraction, I have learned that this present moment, really think about it as a gift. Okay. you didn't have to wake up this morning, right? Like, I'm not saying that everything's going to be perfect, that every day is going to be perfect or anything like that. I know that already. Like, I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry, so I got shadow work and things that I got to work with. But at the same time, it is a gift that you woke up. Not everybody did, right? And my idea is, what do you want to do with that gift? What do you want to do with it? What do you want to do with your life? Okay? And I want to quickly say this, that there have been like some different situations that I have been put in, where again, if you're watching this video, I really do feel like um you're here for a reason. And it might mean that we just have a lot in common. And if we were to meet in real life, or like you were, say I'm at a restaurant, or I'm, I don't know, at a bookstore or something, and I'm, you and somebody, you're just a little bit like away from me, whatever, and you're talking to one of your friends or something, and then I just kind of listen to something you're saying, just not being nosy, but I just overhear something you're saying. You might be talking about something that makes sense to me, and it could be the other way around. I could be with someone and talking, and then you could be somewhere like nearby, and you might hear something that, like, what she said, that kind of makes sense to me. Because again, I'm not one of those people where I feel like I fit in everywhere. So if you're watching this, it probably means that if we were to really meet in real life, we might decide, hey, why don't we go, why don't we go and go get a coffee or something? Let's talk more. Like, feel like you're I've known you my whole life, maybe. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you're watching this, you're here for a reason, because again, I don't advertise my videos or my channel to anybody. There aren't many people that I know, my family that I live with, they know about my channel, okay? But I don't tell like everybody. I don't tell all my friends, whatever, unless you're really close to me, that I have a channel. I love my family, but I don't tell everybody in my family about my channel. Um, and there's a reason in that. I want people to come to my channel and listen because they were drawn to this. This showed up on their For You page, and that means something. I want people to listen, that like, it's not like somebody's eavesdropping or something. You're here for a reason. Like, the message was meant to get to you. And the thing that gets to me is, I have been in situations where there are people that know me, right? And it's not to say, I, I just want the right people to get my message, to hear my message and to get my message. Because when I say the law of attraction, if you don't really know what I'm talking about, you could look at it in the wrong way. You could look at witchcraft, I've explained what it means to me. And yes, I work with the elements and I work with herbs and things like that, but I love nature. And I'm not here to put negative out, basically. I'm really not. And there have been people that I know that I've been around in different situations where recently, for whatever reason, there have been people that have found out about my channel. And this is the reason why I don't go and tell everybody about it, because I knew that there would be people that would look at it in the wrong way, because they're not giving it a chance. They don't know, they don't understand what I'm trying to deliver. I'm trying to bring like a positive message. And there was somebody, I definitely know that they weren't trying to be like mean or anything, but it made me feel like somebody had said, okay, play with fire. Because I mentioned, that every time I go live, I work with candles and whatever. There was a situation where I was put in where someone actually come out and said, okay, they really got into talking about it, right? And I knew they were talking about me. And I felt like I was kind of being ambushed, just because I don't advertise and let everybody know. There have been people that, they know that I have a channel, like they know the sound of my voice, whatever. Okay. And people have gotten to talking, and they're saying too many things that go along with my channel. And then they're coming out saying things like, okay, play with fire and you might get burnt. When you play with fire, you might get burned, right? You might get burnt. Okay. And I'm like, wow, man, no, why would someone wish that on me? Like, if you knew me in real life, you would know that I've always been the type of person where I try to be nice, I try to be courteous and all those different things, but after a while it gets to a point where you can't keep people pleasing because it'll wear you out. And it's best to bring anybody who's here. I want you to be here for a reason. And my idea is to ignite to ignite and bring about the real you. Bring the magic, the magic, your authentic light out. And that's the idea of my channel. That's the idea of my channel. And when somebody, this, person came out and just said, okay, you might get burnt, I'm like, see, they don't know what I'm talking about. And that's why I didn't tell everybody about it. They're looking at it in the wrong way. I've actually come to find out lately, there's been so many videos that have the algorithm picks up on things and it sends stuff that's meant for you. The things that come to your phone, the different ads, the advertisements, everything, it's because the algorithm knows you. You're putting things in and then they're going to send more of the same back to you. Okay. And basically, um, the algorithm started sending things to me about, and I never thought about it. The algorithm picked up on, my personality, and it started sending me videos, saying, okay, about a light worker. And this suggests to me that the algorithm thinks that basically I am a light worker. Like, I'm a light worker. And that makes so much sense to me. I had no idea what a light worker is, but I'm reading up little its and bits and pieces about it because the videos are coming to me. A light worker. See, I'm drawn to a candle flame. And the reason why I am drawn to a candle flame and lighting a candle is because I have been through Shadow Grocery. I've been through some dark periods. But my idea is that's why I'm drawn to the light. I'm drawn to a candle because I want to light a path for myself because I've been through hard times, but I want to light a path for other people. So other people don't have to go through the cold times that I've been through, the darkness that I've been through. I want to share my story and share the journey and light a path for other people to know that, okay, I've been here. Maybe, we can do this together. We can light our candles. We can lighten the way for each other. And, it's kind of like being a trailblazer, right? So, but here somebody's getting the idea and thinking the wrong thing. So basically, I've gotten off subject, but I felt called to share that, about that, the idea of being a light worker. And I've been finding that out, that's why I'm drawn to the flame of a candle. I've always loved candles, but it's because I've been through some dark times. And for somebody that I know they care and everything, they don't understand what my point or my purpose is. But I'm at the point in my life, I don't feel like explaining everything to anybody either. So basically, if you're here, you are here for a reason because you heard something that you like, you were drawn to the video, it showed up on your For You page, and that's why you're here. So I just wanted to share that. I felt called to share it. So anyhow, going back into this, guys, this song, Diary by Alicia Keys, Diary was nominated for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with Vocals at the 2005 Grammy Awards. And I hope that I did mention that the group Tony had something to do with this song, right? Tony. I think I read that before, but anyhow, Diary was nominated for Best R&B Performance by a Duo or Group with vocals at the 2005 Grammy Awards. The song peaked at number 8. On the Billboard Hot 100 and number 2 on the R&B hip hop songs, okay? Now, there is a phone number that's actually mentioned in this song, right? Okay. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the phone number. Okay. The phone number, okay? The song's lyrics tell listeners that they can reach Alicia by calling a particular number, 489-4608, which was her former telephone number minus the area code when she lived in New York City, according to Keys, her publicist. Okay. Callers who use and guys, this was all in Wikipedia. This is information that I got off of Wikipedia. You can actually look at yourself and you'll see it. Okay. So according to Key's publicist, callers who used the correct code, which was 347, if they had to use the area code 347, they would have received a voicemail from Alicia herself. Okay. However, after listening to the song, fans tried calling the number with different area codes. And for one of them, fans tried calling the number with different area codes. And one of them, 912, turned out to be the number of a retired pastor from Statesboro, Georgia. One of one of the area codes that was used if you were to dial that phone number, okay, and you have used the area code 912, okay, it turned out to be the number of a retired pastor from Statesboro, Georgia, named J.D. Turner, okay? This was all on Wikipedia, okay? He claims to have received more than 20 calls a day. He claims to have received more than 20 calls a day, okay, from Alicia's fans in the weeks after the song's release. This led to a $95 phone bill resulting from charges associated with Star 69. Okay, and Star 69, basically, if you were to dial Star 69, okay, basically, when you dial that, it used to be that thing, a thing, anyhow, Star 69, okay, the last call return, it was a last call return option, okay, the Star 69 last call return option, which he used to track down each caller. So basically, this guy, I just said his name, but I put that other page away, so I think it was J.D. Turner. I said it. You get what I'm saying. Okay, he would use Star 69, and when he used Star 69, you may already, if you're old enough, you know what I'm talking about, okay? You would call Star 69, and it would return, when someone would call you, you could hit Star 69, and then it would call back, or I don't know if it would call them back, or if it would let you know who it was that called, right? Okay? Let you know who it was called, something like that. Okay, so this guy, this pastor, he used it to track down each one of the callers, right? And with him doing that, he got a $95 phone bill resulting from it. $95 phone bill from, hitting Star 69 over and over again, tracking these calls up, right? Okay, and guys, I'm going to quickly say this. If you've watched any of my other videos, I have often said it's so funny that the songs and things that come to me when I, higher self, give me a song, play a song in my heart. And guys, it's always funny when I start looking up the information about the song that has come to me, right? Because I'll start to see all these crazy synchronicities. I can't make it up. I didn't know anything about this story. Only thing I know is I've heard the song Diary before. I like the song. It came to me in my thoughts because I'm talking about Keys. So, hey, Diary by Alicia Keys. I go and I look up information like I always do about the song, about the artist, whatever, and see what information I can bring to you guys. And if you've watched any of my other lives, it's funny that this number Star 69 came, in the information that I found. I can't make it up because a lot of times I have mentioned before that a number that I see a lot is 69, right? I see this number a lot. And a lot of times before I decide to go live, my phone will be at 69%. And I've said that so many times. You can go back and listen to other videos when you think the law of attraction or the synchronicities and things aren't real. If you look for these things in your life, you'll start to notice them yourself, right? Okay, I'm just making the suggestion. But if you've listened to any of my videos where I've went live, you've heard me say a lot of times that I see the number 69. And a lot of times before I go live, my phone will be at 69%. It happens so many times. It didn't happen tonight, but it happens a lot of times. And when I think about that, the number 69, I go ahead and I think about adding another number to it. And I've said this many times before, so I'm making the suggestion to you if you're listening to this video. And when I think about the number 69, and I think about adding one more number to it. And I put a 3 in front of that 69. Because when you add a 3 to it, you now have the 369 method. And it's said to be the keys, again, I can't make it up. Guys, now hear me out. I didn't even think about that. I did not even think about that. All these synchronicities, guys, hear me out. Okay. 369 is said to be the keys to the universe, basically, because it's a method. And I think the guys, I don't want to pronounce it wrong. Is it Nikola Tesla? You guys, if you're watching this, you know what I'm talking about. But basically, it's said to be the code to the universe. Okay, it's a method. Okay, and people use it. It's a manifestation method. I don't want to talk too much about it. Basically go and look it up. But basically, you're supposed to write down something that you're trying to manifest. But you're supposed to write it out is in the present tense. Okay, the present tense as it's already happened. Like, don't write it out is in, okay, I will be so happy when this happens. No, you say it as, write it down as, I am so overjoyed. I am so happy to have found the love of my life. Okay, and basically, with that being said, the universe is always trying to work with you to bring it to you, right? But you have to believe it. And when you write it down in the present tense, you're letting the universe know that you're in alignment with the universe and it can deliver it to you. And with that being said, the universe wants to give you what you want. But when you're thinking negative and all that different stuff, you're getting farther away from the things that you want in your life. And basically, when it comes to the 369 method, again, the keys to the universe, okay? And I'm talking about the spiritual significance of keys, okay? And I'm talking about a song called Diary by a young lady. Alicia's, I think, 44 now. Alicia Keys, okay? And mature woman, Alicia Keys, okay? The song is called Diary by Alicia Keys. And basically, I'm looking up the information and it's leading me to something. And I'm telling you about the keys to the universe, the 369 method, okay? Nikola Tesla, Nikola, you know what I'm talking about. Basically, 3 times in the morning, you write down this thing that is already yours, present tense, 3 times in the morning. You come back in the afternoon, 3 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night. And even when you look at the numbers 3 and 6, if you take the numbers 3 and 6 and you add them up, you get 9. Now, what does 9 equal out to? 9 is the number of change, guys. And we just came out of a number 9 year. Last year was said to be a number 9 year because you take the numbers 2025, you add them up, and you get the number 9. Now, what's 9 about? 9 is about change. And the idea of last year was it was a number 9 year, and that it was called the year of the snake. Now, snakes are a symbol of change. Why are snakes a symbol of change? Because snakes, they shed their skin. And when they shed their skin, they're leaving the old behind. Now, so basically the idea is, okay, if you were to go out in your yard and you see a snake skin, you know that the snake was there, but it left that something it doesn't need anymore. It doesn't need that skin, that skin anymore. So the snake has moved on. It's left the skin in your yard. It may still be in your yard, but it's moved on and left the skin behind, and then it could be in the next person's yard. You get what I'm saying? It's about change. And basically, we have left out of that year of 2025, the number 9 year. We came through that portal, which was basically a door of 2026 now. And now we're in the year of the fire horse. Okay. So I just wanted to share all this with you. And that's why I'm talking about keys. That's the reason why I wanted to talk about the symbolic meaning of keys. And also because we were walking through a threshold, a door, a hallway, whatever. Now we're beyond, we've walked into this new year, right? And again, I've already mentioned that I'm going to be talking, and the big thing that I really want to be focusing in on this year is the idea of your birth chart. And when it comes to the idea of your birth chart, within your birth chart, there are 12 houses within your birth chart. And with that being said, this also makes me think about keys, because basically if you think about a house, in order to get into like a regular house, and I'm even going to be, putting that, I've explained it in a couple videos over. I used a gingerbread house to talk about it, right? And I'm going to be setting up for every time that I talk about this in this new year, birth charts and all that, and because I'm talking about houses, I'm going to try to set up a scene of a different house every time that I talk about your birth chart. It could be a gingerbread house, it could, whatever, but it's going to be a scene of a house. That's going to be the idea. Okay. And guys, just like I told you, I don't have a hard time going over an hour. I'm a Gemini, and I can be long-winded, and I hope I'm within that being long-winded and everything. I hope that there is something that I'm saying that is helping you. That's my idea. I hope that we're helping each other. This is a journey. And right now I'm at the point where I have, getting ready to go over an hour, and I got to draw a puzzle piece over, and then I'll be able to keep talking. And I'm going to do that because I see people are still listening, and I have got more notes to read from. Okay. So I'm going to make this work. Okay, let me do it again. Guys, now I'm looking at a puzzle, and they're showing me a tiger. This is awesome. Tigers are awesome, right? So I got to pull this puzzle piece over and make it work, make it fit, and then I can keep talking. Okay, and it worked. Okay, so guys, I'm going to keep talking. Guys, if I'm saying anything that you like, I hope that you will choose to like, click, share, subscribe, all those different things. If you actually saw where someone wanted to, somebody must have got something that I said and liked it or something, because there was somebody that wanted to, I'll say my channel's called Sunset Songs. There was somebody that wanted to do, I'll say, a bit of a duet with me, right? I'll call it a duet, because someone wanted to, invited me to go, what do they call it? Like we do, like, we would talk together. Like, I forget what they call it, but it wasn't that I declined. That happened here. If you're still listening, it wasn't that I declined, that I didn't want to, team up and talk along with someone else, and we do like a co-thing, like together. But again, I call myself Shadow Girl Sherry, so I've really got to build up to that. I've got to build up to a comfort level to where I feel comfortable enough to be able to, to join up with someone else. That's all it is. I've just got to get to more of a comfortable point. But if you're still listening, I thank you so much for wanting to team up with me. And I'll say it's a duet because my channel's called Sunset Songs, right? And hopefully soon I'm going to feel comfortable enough to be able to do that. But guys, if you're listening right now and you like anything, that you feel encouraged by anything that I'm saying, and that's what I'm hoping, that's what this is all about. I'm trying to encourage you. And again, every time I go live, anytime during the course of a day, again, I've mentioned it already. I have what I call a community altar. It's portable. I try to work with it every day. And when I light that candle, when I, burn incense and everything, I'm not just thinking about myself, but I'm thinking about you all. And basically, whenever you choose, it's not just about me. You guys were my inspiration to go live. There have been times in my life where I felt like I was alone. And when I started going live, and I started making videos and things like that, and the fact that I've always I've always liked candles, but for whatever reason, I would have candles and I felt like I wanted to save the candle. Like I wanted to save the candle, and I'm like, I'm going to save this candle for something special, right? I don't know why I always felt that way. And now, or at least I used to not know, but now I feel like I know. The reason why I feel like I wanted to save candles is because I feel like all along, I wanted to share the candle and everything with someone. Now, before it may have been like, like a date or a boyfriend or somebody really, special, whatever, like a guy, whatever. Okay. But that could be the same. It could be the same thing, you get what I'm saying. But at the same time, I feel like I always had these candles and wanted to burn these candles with a community, with you guys. I feel like it was my calling to come and share this light with you all. And whenever you choose to like, click, share, subscribe, any of those things, you are encouraging me to keep coming out and delivering my message to you guys. Like, you're letting me know that I am encouraging you, because I'd like to think that if you were having a hard day, you've been out in the course of a day and someone knocked you off of your horse. This is the year of the fire horse. Someone knocked you off of your horse. You got off the course of what you were trying to do. They made you feel some type of way, and you just had a day that wasn't the best. I would like to think that maybe you could go and join one of my lives, or you could go watch a video of mine, and I would be the voice. It would be me, where I could say something that would encourage you to get back on the horse and know that, no, I'm not going to let that, whatever that person said, or whatever that person did, or somebody that was beside me with road rage or whatever, they're not going to stop me, because I'm still on my journey, right? I'd like to think that I could be that encouragement for you, because guys, you guys have been an encouragement for me. Again, I've talked about the Lionsgate's portal at that time. I didn't have I had people around me to a point. But there was a sense of emptiness, because there were certain people that, I had around, and all of a sudden, for whatever reason, these people couldn't be present. I'll say that one person, was actually sick. Okay. And, the illness, and I feel like it separated us, and I'm hoping that it's not always going to be that way. Um, I don't want to go into all that because I'll get upset. But basically, I felt kind of alone. And that's the reason why I decided to go live on the eighth month, eighth day. I'm like, I'm feeling alone or whatever, but it wasn't like an encouragement, because it pushed me out to you guys. And I lit a candle, and my idea was, in that first video, in that picture, the thumbnail, there was a candle, but the candle wasn't lit. And my idea was, what I'm going to do is, I'm nervous and everything, but in this first picture, the candle is not going to be lit. And basically, I'm going to put that picture up. There's going to be bright things all around it, but the candle's not going to be lit. I was nervous, and I'm like, is anybody going to listen to me? Is anybody going to listen to me? And it just so happened, that there were people, and it was only going to take one person to listen to me. And that I would look at that as, hey, that's encouragement. One person listened to me. Now, if one person will listen to me, I can get two, I can get three, I can get four, and I can, keep going here. Like, it's a bit of a fire, really, a wildfire, if I could say it like that, And I think about that fire every day. And you guys are encouragement to me. And I just want us to encourage each other. So, I really like candles. If my channel is called Sunset Songs. Here on TikTok, you'll find me under Shadow Girl Sherry, Sherry Shadow Closet. It's the same if you follow me over on YouTube. I can't wait till I get to the point where I've got everything set up to where every time I go live on TikTok, I want to get to the point where they're synced up. So when I go live on TikTok, I'm also going to be going live on YouTube, because I've definitely got to build my YouTube channel up. I have 45 subscribers right now. But it picked up, because I forget how many people I had at the Lionsgate's portal at the very start of the portal. But once I noticed that once I started going live, that's when, I started to build up a little bit more. And I really feel like once I get everything linked up, I want to not only just be going live like on TikTok, but I want to also be going live on YouTube as well. And I can't wait till I'm at that point to where they're both synced up together, right? But I hope that you will choose to like, click, share, subscribe, all that different stuff here, leave comments, whatever. And I hope that you'll go ahead and follow me over on YouTube as well. on YouTube, you're going to be looking for, my main channel is called Sunset Songs. Okay. There are multiple channels under that name, Sunset Songs, but obviously mine is going to be the one where you're going to click on it and you're going to hear about Shadow Girl Sherry, right? And my channel is all about the law of attraction. Sunset Songs. You can also find me under Sunset Songs, Shadow Girl Sherry, Sherry's Shadow Closet. Okay. And, but guys, I'm going to be so happy when I start to see candles. That's what I want to see in my chat, like on my videos. That'll be very, very encouraging to me when people start to put like a candle, because I love candles. And when you do that, you're letting me know that I'm lighting a path for you, just like you're lighting a path for me. Okay. And, but again, if you're liking anything that I say, I've got to earn it. I'll say that. And you know, of course I love when you guys are listening, but, I hope that you will. I love the candles, but, I love hearts as well. So if you're feeling the things that I'm saying, again, you want me to keep talking, whatever, I hope that you will leave hearts and all that. But again, it's all about the journey. So I'm going to keep talking. But I've made the suggestion. I've told you about the synchronicity, about 369. And guys, I can't make this stuff up. Like I wasn't even thinking about it. It's so funny when I start to look up the information about the song that comes to me when I'm asking my higher self, give me a song, put a song on my heart, and, you know, have it tailored around whatever the subject matter is. And then when I go and look up information about the song, there's always some kind of crazy synchronicity about it. And again, I've told you about that thing with the 69 number. And then I had the 369. I've told you about that. And it's the keys to the universe. And I'm talking about the spiritual significance of keys. Okay. I can't make it up. So anyhow, let me jump back into this again. I've told you about, the number, the idea of star 69. Star 69 is basically, you go and you would dial that back in the day, and you could find out who it was that just called you. Okay. And, but anyhow, let me keep reading. Okay. So, this guy Turner, let me go back from it again. Okay. So let me start from, where am I going to start from? Okay. From Alicia's fans in the weeks after the song's release. Okay. This led to a $95 phone bill resulting, from charges associated with star 69. The last call return option, which he used, and this was a pastor. Okay. He used, and that's a funny one too, because to start out with, when I really jump into talking about keys, I'm going to start from like maybe kind of like the faith kind of biblical point of it, of the idea of keys. Okay. I'm going to start there. But as the year goes on, being that I'm talking about a birth chart, I'm talking about the idea of houses and things like that. It takes a key to open a house. I can come back and talk about this at any time, but I've got to start somewhere. So I'm going to try to start from that kind of biblical standpoint, right? Okay. Like, what does it mean in that way? So it's, again, guys, I can't make this stuff up. I had already, thought, okay, I'm going to start with, the biblical, standing point from there, talking about keys, right? And then I go and I look up the information. My higher selves, I can't make it up. My higher self points me in the direction, gives me the song Diary by Alicia Keys. I look up the information, I'm thinking, okay, I want to give the biblical, standing point, start there. That's going to be the way that I'm going to open the door. Okay. Look up the information, and here, on Wikipedia, you can look it up yourself. They are talking about on Wikipedia, they're talking about, what is it? A reverend, a pastor. Okay. A pastor. Alicia Keys puts a phone number in the song where basically her listeners, she's telling her listeners, that the people that are listening to the song, okay, she's basically kind of suggesting, and she gives a phone number. And this was actually her phone number that she had when she lived in New York. But she didn't give the right area code, obviously, because she didn't, you get what I'm saying. But there were people that actually used a certain area code. They used a certain area code, and when the certain people, for whatever reason, chose this particular area code, you know what I'm saying, that code, okay, they used that code. When they dialed that code, the people that used that code, they were actually calling a pastor, okay? They're calling a pastor. I can't make this stuff up. It's on Wikipedia. So anyhow, yeah, I can't make it up. Okay. I didn't know anything about that until I saw it on Wikipedia. So anyhow, hear me out, guys. Okay, so basically, okay, star 69, last call return option, which he used to track down each caller. Turner declined to change his number, having it held for 14 years before the song's release. So he had this phone number for 14 years. So he didn't want to change his number, okay? So he didn't change it. But basically what happened was he didn't change the number because he had it 14 years before the song's release. Okay, but as of 2015, the number in the 347 area code is no longer in service. And Turner retained it in the 912 code until his death. So he's dead. Okay, he passed away until his death in 2019. Okay, so that's the update on that. In 2019, this pastor passed away. Okay, so I've told you about the whole idea of the number, how I've talked about the number 69 a lot of times on my videos, the crazy synchronicity. And now I've also talked about the keys to the universe, the 369 method. Okay, so if I didn't explain it to you in the right way, just look it up yourself. There is a method called the 369 method, and it's said to be the keys to the universe, the code to the universe. It's used all the time, so I can't make this stuff up. So, and this is what gets to me when people come out and they're just like, oh well, making it seem like I'm doing something evil. And it's like, that's not the idea of being evil. Like, I'm going to be talking about, the spiritual significance here of keys. And I never said I don't believe in God. I do believe in God. But my idea is I don't see anything with the law, like bad about the law of attraction, because I've had some dark moments in my life, and I don't think God wants us to be, if it's God, you say you believe in God, I don't think God wants you to be unhappy. I think, he gave you life for a reason, and he wants you to be happy. He wants you to be happy, and he wants you to believe in yourself. And to me, that's why it's so said that, God, I've heard it said a lot. God, when God made you, basically, he put a part of himself inside of you. So why would he want you? My idea is, why would he want you to be unhappy? He gave you the gift of life. Now, why would he want you to be unhappy? That's my idea. Okay. So anyhow, so I'm going to keep it moving. Okay. So Alicia Keys' song Diary was I'm going to tell you the inspiration now. This is all information that I found online. Alicia Keys' song Diary was inspired by a profound private conversation she had with someone on the road, where they shared secrets as if they were each other's diaries, leading her to write the song about deep trust, intimacy, and being a confidant, with lyrics suggesting a hotline number for listeners to call in, reflecting that personal connection. And guys, again, I've often said here on my channel, again, that often when I go live, I feel kind of like it's like a phone. Like, when I first go live, maybe I should say ring ring, and I've said it before, ring ring, and the idea is I want to see who's going to pick up, basically. Like, I don't know who you are. You don't know what I look like or anything. But even before I go live, I've said it. I think I said it here. I say a little bit of a prayer or affirmation, whatever you want to call it. I burn an incense. clear the negative energy. I light a candle. And basically, it's kind of like before I even go live, I'm sorry, guys, my throat. Got to clear my throat and drink some water here. Makes me think about a pastor again. You know how they have water for the pastor to drink. I apologize because my throat gets dry. I'm long-winded. Shadow Girl Sherry. Basically, I light a candle, and the candle's still burning right now. Basically, I kind of ask the universe, bring the right people to me. Bring the people to me. Obviously the algorithm knows, where to put my voice, who to send my voice and my message to, right? And I'm asking that it put me in front of my voice, before people they are going to understand what I'm talking about, and we're going to meet in the middle. And I'm not here to argue. I'll say that it's a debate. I'm not a person where I like to argue, right? I don't. I'm not an argumentative person. But again, it gets to a point where you do have to believe in what you believe in, right? You can't just walk around in the world and not know the way you feel, and not, have your own personal thoughts, right? But with me, sometimes it has been a thing where, okay, I want to get along with people, but I don't want to be a total people pleaser either. And when you're watching this, it just lets me know that, see, we meet somewhere along the line. We're in some type of an agreement, I feel. And if it's not an agreement, I'm hoping that instead of it being an argument, it's kind of like a discussion, right? A debate, a little bit of a debate, a discussion. But I'm asking to draw people in that where it doesn't have to be an argument. It's the end of the day, and we're trying to calm down and chill. And in a couple of hours or so, I'm going to be going to bed, and I don't want to argue and all that. And then I'm going to bed, and I'm thinking negative thoughts, and the next thing you know, I'm dreaming bad things and so on, because I took negativity to bed. Okay. I feel like I want to draw the people in that feel the same way. Okay. And with that being said, I'm going to continue what I was talking about. Okay. So, key inspirations and details. Okay. About the song. Okay. um Deep conversation. Okay. Alicia Keys described it as a very deep private talk where she felt like someone's diary and they were hers. Okay. And again, I've said it before I go online, I'm asking, or before I come online, I'm asking for the universe to bring, when I go live, it's kind of like I feel like I'm dialing a phone, like an old-fashioned phone, or it, I'm just asking for the right people to pick up. It's kind of like a hotline. I'm saying what I have to say, and it's going to be what I'm feeling, what I felt in the course of a day. And the people that are listening, if this is shown up on your For You page, if you could decide, okay, I'm not going to listen. I'm going to go on to the next live or whatever, or the next short video here on TikTok or whatever on YouTube, whatever. And you're just going to go on. But if I've said the right thing, then basically when you join my live, it's kind of like you picked up. So to me, this is the same thing as this song. Like, it's like a hotline, or I'm going to be saying things to where, again, guys, I've said it before, not everybody knows about my channel. Like, the people that know me, like, in everyday life, I don't advertise my channel to everybody. So in that way, I know that this, obviously, it isn't private. I feel like it's private when I go live and all that, but it's not private. But my idea is, if you're listening, I hope that you're listening for a reason, because if somebody that, I knew in real life were listening, and they're listening for some evil reason or whatever, to me, it's like they're wasting their time, because time is precious. And see, if someone were listening, out of just, I don't know, some bad intention, they could be using that same energy listening to something that really means something to them. So anytime somebody stops and they're listening to what you're saying, I hope they're doing it for the right reasons. Because if not, you're wasting your time. People, I don't. That's the why I keep my stuff private. Like I don't advertise. I don't want to waste anybody's time, basically. And you know, I'm thinking about this song right now, and really, again, I know it's not private when I talk here. It's not private, but I just feel that I hope that the right people are getting my message. So it is kind of, and I've said it many times, that guys, I love to write. I love to keep a diary myself, but you guys have made it so much easier because instead of back in the day, it used to be a thing where, I had a diary or I had a journal. I still do, but I don't have to take time out and write it down anymore. I feel like when I want to remember something or something happened to me in the course of a day. My channel is called Sunset Songs, all about my personal journey with the law of attraction. Because of you guys and all my listeners, I don't have to go and write things down anymore. I can just, hey, it's this such and such a day. Instead of writing in a diary, I can come and say what happened to me, my experiences, the synchronicities, all those different things, my journey. I can just say it, and then there's going to be listeners, and then whenever I want to come back and listen to it again, I can know later on exactly what I was doing on such and such a day, just because you guys listen to me. So guys, basically it's like a diary. This is like a diary. So I just wanted to share that as well. And if you're listening to this, I want to thank you so much for listening, because again, it's like I'm getting things off my chest, right? And I want to thank you so much, really, because again, I don't advertise. I want to share this with a certain type of group of people. And if you're listening to this, I feel definitely, I put it out there that I wanted to draw a certain type of group in. And if you're listening, I just want to thank you so much, right? And the song's called Diary. My channel's kind of like an open diary, right? Okay. So anyhow, I'm going to go on and talk about what Alicia had to say. Okay. So basically, again, the deep conversation. Alicia Keys described it as a very deep private talk where she felt like someone's diary. So I think she says at a point, think of me as the pages of your diary. So she's saying that she's the pages of this person's diary. Okay. And they were hers. So they are the pages of her diary. So it's going both ways. So basically, that's what I'm saying. You guys are the pages of my diary. That's basically what I'm saying. When I'm telling you about this song, and I hope that you'll go and listen to the song and, come back on any video, especially this one. This video is gone for so long that I can't make it to where on TikTok, it's all about ticking and talking, right? Once you go over an hour long, which I usually do, once I go live, they usually go over an hour. I don't think I don't think that I've went one time where, even the first time I went live, I think the first time I went live, maybe that was the only time that I didn't go for an hour or longer, right? I think that was like 40 some minutes, right? The first time I went live, even though I was nervous, right? But once you go over an hour, on you can't I can't upload this video in its entirety here on TikTok. If you want to see this video this live in its entirety, you're going to have to join me on my channel, Sunset Songs, on YouTube. And I hope that you will choose to do that. Sunset Songs, find me over there, and then you can rewatch this video in its entirety. But later on, like tomorrow, it won't be tonight, later on tomorrow, most likely, that's when you're going to be able to come back, and I'm probably going to add like 1 or 2 clips from this live. It'll be here on TikTok, but it'll only be a short clip. Okay. So, I just wanted to share that with you or whatever, but you're not going to be able to get this video in its entirety. You'll have to go over on YouTube to get the video in its entirety. And I hope that you'll do that. But again, yeah. So anyhow, so she's saying that basically, in the song, like, she feels like she's the pages I already read all that. Let me move on. Okay. So spontaneous creation. Okay. The musical chords came to, and look, they said spontaneous creation. Okay. The musical chords came to her in her dressing room. So Alicia was in her dressing room when these chords came to her. The idea is the chords came to her in her dressing room. The musical chords came to her in her dressing room, and she wrote the basis of the song in about 10 minutes once the diary idea clicked. Okay? Okay. Symbolism of a diary. The song embodies trust, confidentiality, and emotional support, emphasizing the importance of having someone to share secrets with. Okay? Interactive element. And guys, this is stuff I got offline. I asked AI and they, first it was Wikipedia, but then I went on to AI and looking up information, and this is what, what came to me. Okay. And I'm bringing it to you guys. Okay. Okay. So, symbolism of a diary. The song embodies trust, confidentiality, and emotional support, emphasizing the importance of having someone to share secrets with. Interactive element. The inclusion of the phone number 489-4608 was a direct reference to her old New York number, making listeners feel like they could genuinely call and share their thoughts. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, moving right along. Gonna have to get myself a drink because my throat's getting dry. Okay. I apologize, guys. Okay. Okay. So the key symbolism, okay, of the song represents acts. Wait a minute. Am I on to the real? I think now. Okay, guys. I think that now basically, yeah. Okay. So I'm done talking about the song now. So basically, that's the information I got on the song. I hope that you'll choose to go and listen to the song. Let me know leave it here, like here on TikTok, or I hope someone will do that. I'm waiting for someone to come back and let me know what they think about the song. Is there anybody here in the chat right now that has heard the song? Do you know the artist Alicia Keys? What do you think about her? What do you think about the song? Do you like any of her other songs? Yeah. So I just want to get a bit of a conversation going, because I don't want to feel like I'm the everything's about me. This is like we're joined together here, and we're this is a chat, okay? But now I'm going to go on, and now this is going to be the part where I'm going to start talking about the symbolism, the symbolic meaning of keys, okay? Told you about the Sunset Song. Now I'm going to jump into talking about the symbolism and all that. But anytime, if there's another song that makes you think about a key or whatever, or you have a thought, what do you think about the song? Have you heard the song? I hope that you'll choose to leave it here in the comments. And as I'm going to be reading my notes and all that, I'm going to be trying to take time and look at your comments as well, and look at your names. And I see a Gary Joust. I see a Mary M. Guys, this is Shadow Girl Sherry. I want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you are enjoying this setup, because I feel like it's an intimate setup, like the pages of a diary. Okay, and that's what I want you to feel like. Okay, so the key symbolism of keys. Okay, keys represent access, authority, opportunity. Okay, secrets, unlocking doors to new beginnings, knowledge, freedom, or potential, while also signifying protection, trust, and responsibility for what is guarded from what is guarded. Okay, from things like homes. Okay, a key is guarded. Okay, or a home is guarded. This is something you want to guard. It's your home. Okay, your home, your family's inside your home. This is personal to you. So a key, okay? So okay, protection, trust. I'm sorry. Let me get back on my notes. Okay, unlocking doors to new beginnings, knowledge, freedom, or potential, while also signifying protection, trust, and responsibility for what is guarded. Like things, okay, homes, in your heart even. Home, your heart. I'm thinking about a car as well, okay? And these could be things within this new year. Maybe that is something, the desire of your heart. Maybe you want a new home, okay? Maybe you're trying to attract the love of your life, so they are going to have the key to your heart, okay? Maybe you are attracting or, working towards whatever you say, like a new home, a person to live with you in this home, a family that you want to make inside of a new home. You want to take your existing family to a new home, whatever. I'm just putting these ideas out there. A new car. These are things that go, a key would open the door, right? Okay. And, again, I have the keys to what's important to me. You have the keys to what you own. I have the keys to what I own. You have the keys to what you own. And it's important to you. Okay. We all know this. Okay. Okay. So, homes and hearts to spiritual truths. Okay. Spiritual truths. Okay. So it embodies duality, both liberation and confinement, revelation and concealment, and connects to personal power. This keys connect to personal power. Okay. Self-discovery and divine or hidden wisdom, access. Okay. Personal power, self-discovery, and divine or hidden wisdom across cultures and spiritual beliefs. Okay. Okay, key meanings and themes. Access and opportunity, unlocking new paths. Keys unlock new paths. Keys unlock potential, fortune, or spiritual gateways. They signify new chapters and choices. Okay. Authority and power, holding control, the power to open and close guardianship, the right to grant or deny entry. Okay. And when you think about denying, this is an example, when it comes to keys, having the power and the authority, holding the control, the power to open and close guardianship, the right to grant or deny entry. Now, an example of this is St. Peter's keys. St. Peter holding the keys to heaven. God's authority, okay? God's authority in St. Peter as the gatekeeper, okay? So God's authority in St. Peter being the gatekeeper, okay? Knowledge and secrets, revealing hidden truths, mysteries, or esoteric wisdom. Keys are associated with magic. Okay. Now, and when you think about magic, that's a whole other, thing. I want to talk about a little bit of everything all down the line. And, I'm not talking about this as much tonight, because this is more like the biblical or maybe the religious, kind of standpoint tonight. And then I'll be taking it, all down the line, right? As, as I find it, right? But for tonight, I'm kind of thinking about like the religious or biblical kind of standpoint, of keys. Okay. But keys are also associated with, and when you think about magic, and I don't want to talk too much about it because I don't know everything about this. I got to look into it more, but I have heard about the keys. They are associated with Hecate. Hecate, is it Hecate or Hecate? Okay, I don't want to get started talking about that. It's one thing at a time. But again, that is something that I did see, and I know that anyway. I don't want to get into it too much tonight because that's not where the standpoint that I'm really coming at it from. But this is what I found on, as I was doing my research. Keys are also, again, associated with esoteric wisdom associated with magic, and, Hecate. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I don't want to be pronouncing things wrong either, if you know what I'm saying. Like, when you call a name, you're calling a name, right? Like when when somebody calls your name, it's addressed to you. Like your name belongs to you. So somebody could, if somebody saw me somewhere and, I lied to them, say I was telling people a name and it wasn't really my name, I would have a hard time remembering a made up name because that's not the name I've known my whole life. Like I know my name. My name's Sherry. So if I were out in public and somebody says that name, I'm going to be looking around trying to see, well, who is it? They've called my name. So whenever, again, when I really do believe that if you were the type to where you want to get into that, all the thing of like working with spirits and things like that, I'm just telling you, I don't look at those things as like a game. I really don't. I don't look at those things like a game. I've had different like things happen, and I feel like I've had enough things happen to where I know that these things, I don't know everything about them, but I've had too many synchronicities, and I'll just tell you that I really don't look at it as a game to play. Use your discernment. And again, I do believe that when you call a name, you're calling a name. So just come correct when you call someone's name. Know who or what. Know about the energy that you're calling in. That's just the suggestion that I want to make to you. Okay. So again, I don't look at this stuff as a game to just play. I got into spirituality and all these different things because I felt like I was called. But not only that, I got into it because there were things that I was going through, and there were things that I felt came to me, and it was things that I needed. But it's never been a game. Like there have been things that I feel like came to me at different points in my life where they came for a reason, and there have been things that have saved me really, and none of this stuff is a game to me. None of it. It's not a game. But I'm just making the suggestion that when you call someone's name, just know, use your discernment and know that you're calling a name. It belongs to something, right? Okay. When someone calls your name, they're calling your name. Okay. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and say, guys, right now it is 10:10. With that being said, I know that there's other notes and things that I have to read through, and I do want to, it's pretty important to me tonight to get everything that I have to say that I have written down tonight said and over with. So the next time I go live, I don't know when that's going to be. I'm hoping that it is going to be on the new moon, around about the new moon, but I can't say because I don't know how things are going to work out, but that I definitely want to have some notes together. Definitely. I want to definitely have, there's one idea that I do want to definitely make sure that I deliver for this month. And that is what I promised. For each month, I want to deliver to you guys, bring to you guys a message about, about, your birth chart. And this month, for the first month of January, I want to start from the beginning, and that would be the first house in your birth chart. Now, I'm not an expert or anything like that, so it's going to be very basic, but my idea is I want to present it to you in a certain way. I have a way that I want to present it to you, and I want to bring it to you because my idea is to help you, but it's only a starting point. And it's basically to let you know that I really believe that this stuff is real. I'm not an expert, but I've looked enough into my own birth chart to know that there's no denying it. Like, if you know anything about tarot cards, I believe in my tarot cards. Like, you go to the metaphysical store, whatever, you're drawn to a deck. Even if you were to pick a deck on an oracle deck or, your tarot, whatever, you go and you decide that you're going to spend the money, your own money that you earned, whatever, and you are buying this deck. You are drawn to this oracle deck. You put your money down, they're yours. So you have personally chose these, right? Okay. But with that being said, once you bring them home and you put your touch on them, they've been in your home, your car, your person, your purse, or and you start putting your hands on them, your energy into them. They're yours now. Okay, they're picking up on your energy, And once I feel like they have picked up on your energy, they are your cards. And if you've done any of these things, you'll know. But I'm telling you, to me, tarot cards, yeah, they can confuse you. Yet sometimes there, a lot of times mine have been spot on. There's always there's something in it when I do a tarot reading that lets me know, yes, this is accurate. But sometimes they can be a little bit confusing, and it can kind of be like, you thought it was this, and then it's that. Okay. Um, but I'm sorry, guys. When I started looking into the birth chart, oh, it's totally different. Like, there's a much stronger energy to it, and that's why I wanted to present. Um, I wanted to come to you guys and start talking about birth charts, because I am definitely suggesting to you, to look into your birth chart. There's a younger person that I have around me that I really like. I feel like I had a little bit of a touch in them getting into spirituality. And my thing is, if I could get them to look into their birth chart, there's people that might think it's a lie, but if they were to look into it, there's no denying it. I looked into mine and I'm like, oh man, as much as some of the placements that I have, I don't like all the placements in my birth chart. I really don't. Like, my birth chart is a trip, let me tell you. But it's real, whether I like it or not. Like, I couldn't give my birth chart to just anybody. Like, my best friend, I think that if she were to look, and I've tried to kind of reach out and say, hey, I bet you're not going to like it, but when you look at it, you're going to know that this is your birth chart. Just like I look at mine. If she were to look at it, and I'm not suggesting that you let anybody look at your birth chart, because it's your business. It's not suggested to tell people, because in your birth chart, your gifts are in there. There's the hardships and all that, the tears that you cried and everything. But the gifts, whatever gifts that are yours, I'm telling you, they're in your birth chart. And that's why I want to deliver this gift to you. But I also want to let you know that I'm not an expert. And at some point, I want to have a real, person that does that. I want to have it looked at. But I have looked into it enough to know that it's the real deal. But guys, it's 10:15 now. But guys, just a little bit ago, it was 10:10. I wanted, whenever there is numbers that are back to back beside each other, whatever, I like to ask everybody to stop and think about something that they're trying to manifest. The moment has passed, so I'm going to pass on by it. But guys, do realize that we were together as a collective at 10:10. So, yeah. So, and guys, and again, I'll tell you this is a number 10 year. So, the year 2026 is a number 10 year, and this is the year of the fire horse. So I'll just go ahead and remind you of that again. Okay. So, but let me make sure I've read everything that I had to say here. Key symbolism. If I read everything right. Okay. I said number 2, 1, 2. Okay, so it's time to go into the next page there. Okay, and with my notes. Okay, protection and secrets. Okay, guarding values. So basically, keys guard values, guarding values. Homes are personal values. A symbol of trust and ownership. Two, okay, TikTok just tried to tell me something, and you guys, I've got a lot to learn about going live. I still have things to learn about going live, and I've got to take time to look all those things up. Just like I've got to, there's things that I need to learn about going live. Just like I need to learn about how to join my YouTube, my TikTok, and my YouTube together. So whenever I go live, I'm being heard on both TikTok and YouTube. That, there's things that I got to learn, and I got to take time to do that. But at the same time, there's so many other things that I kind of juggle on my plate, and that's why I don't get to go live all the time. I don't. I got to find a way to be more consistent. But again, when I bring information to you, I want to be able to present it to you in a certain way. So it may, I don't get to go live every day. I want to get to the point where TikTok always says, okay, if you want to grow here, you got to go make videos. I think it's like 3 to 5 times a day. it's right now, it's just kind of hard for me. I have different things going on in my life. And again, when I bring things to you guys, I want to bring to you things that mean something to me, and I want to present it to you in a certain type of a way. And even like going and, there's this big thing with AI. You can have your videos made and up in no time. That's not my way. I want to grow my channel and everything from the ground up. I want to have my own seeds in my channel. I want to have my own authentic touch into it. So even though it means taking longer, then so be it. This is so important to me. My channel and everything means so much to me that I want to be as authentic as I can, even down to the way what you're looking at right now. Like, I wrote this out and it means so much to me. There were people that kind of thought, okay, well, people aren't going to like that because that's so old fashioned. Well, I want to draw the people in that are like me. And when people are different, then, that's good too. But I just had, it's important for Shadow Girl Sherry to be present in, like, in my videos. Like, that's the gift that I want to present, really, and draw people in that way. So if it takes longer, it just takes longer. So be it. I'm trying to build authentically from the ground up, and I just want to give you guys, I just want to let you guys know that. So anyhow, so okay, keys. Keys are about protection and security. They guard values, homes, and personal values, okay? It is a symbol. Keys are a symbol of trust and ownership, okay? Got it. I got it offline. Viking women wore keys to their households. Viking women wore keys to their households. Okay, keys. Something else about keys. Okay, they're about self-discovery. Keys represent finding one's inner self. Okay, represents finding one's inner self-worth, or the key to one's own identity. Okay. A key is very powerful because it can represent the power to open, close, reveal, and guard, making it a versatile symbol for freedom, responsibility, and unlocking the unknown. So, when it comes to keys, okay, there's freedom, because, like, think about your home. When you open the door to your home, it's guarded and you're inside of your home, but it's also your home, so you have the freedom inside your home to do what you want to do. Like the rest of the world, okay, when you go out in the world, obviously there's rules, right? But when you come in, you open the door to your house, you open those keys, you got the key to the house, you come inside, that's your domain, okay, right? Like, you own your house, or, you get what I'm saying. Like, that's your private quarters. You do as you want to do within your home. So there's a freedom with that. But also with keys, there are different types, even with your home, it comes with responsibilities. There are responsibilities to owning a home or to renting or whatever. With keys, there is freedom, but at the same time, there comes a great deal of responsibility with a key as well. Okay. And just think about, with keys, keys can unlocking the unknown. So just keep that in mind. Okay. Also with keys, empowerment and potential, gaining control, finding solutions, or unlocking one's true self, inner understanding, transformation and transition. Keys mark rites of passage or major life changes. Think about, like when you turn 21, okay? It's a rite of passage. Like, now, once you turn 21, there again, there are the words freedom, because, you're free to, to be an adult, really. But at the same time, with turning 21 and becoming an adult, there is responsibility with that as well. You're responsible for yourself. You get what I'm saying? So there's freedom. You make your own choices, but don't be stupid, because You can lock yourself up as well. You can get locked up if you get too stupid with that freedom. You know what I'm talking about. So anyhow, okay. So also with keys, okay, think about Egyptian hieroglyphics. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Okay. Gods and pharaohs hold keys to access the spirit realm. Okay. In dreams, okay, keys are about, okay, discovering solutions. If you have a dream about keys, you go to sleep, lay your head down on your pillow, whatever, and you dream about keys. It's said that within this dream, if you see keys, it could be basically about, it's when there are keys in your dream, it could mean discovering solutions or hidden aspects of yourself. Like, this is the reason why you might see a key or keys in your dreams when you sleep. It could be about, you know, discovering solutions or hidden aspects of yourself. Because think about it, your dreams are about your subconscious mind. So these are hidden aspects of yourself, okay? And if you dream about a key, then it's, these are the hidden aspects of yourself, okay? So if you dream of losing keys in dreams, you go to sleep and you dream about losing keys. You lose your keys. This might represent a fear of losing control or status in your waking life. Okay, so that might be why if someone has a dream about losing keys, it could be about it. It could be the idea of in your waking life you have when you have the fear of losing control or status in your life. Okay, and that's why you had a dream of losing keys. Okay, so. Okay, guys, everybody that's joined me, I want to thank you, thank you, thank you. I see a Carolyn said, okay, thank you, Carolyn said, for joining me tonight. Sandra Curry, 49. I want to thank you so much for joining me. And Mary M. I want to thank you, everyone, for joining me. I can't wait to see. I always like to see how many people have joined me, and I never have joined my lives, and I never know how many people have joined me. I don't know how many people have joined my lives until I have, concluded on the live and I've shut it down. And then that's when I found out how many people joined the live, how long, who stayed on the longest, all that. But as of right now, I have no idea, but obviously, I can't wait to find out. But anyhow, on with my notes. Looks like I'm going to be wrapping up pretty soon. But I've had so much fun delivering this message, guys. And I want to thank you guys, everybody that's joined me tonight, no matter how long you've stayed. This is time that you spent with me, and you took this time out of your time and spent this however long you stayed with me. And I just want to thank you so much. Again, okay. On to with my notes. Okay. Spiritual keys. Okay, these are the spiritual keys to open doors. When it comes to keys, these are the spiritual keys to open doors. The spiritual keys to open doors are basically as followed. They are faith. You open the spiritual keys to open doors are faith, prayer, obedience, and gratitude, which unlock divine opportunity, blessings, and breakthroughs by aligning one's life. And guys, I did say again, this is kind of like, I kind of looked up more of the religious or kind of like biblical, symbolic meaning, of keys. That's where I'm starting from. And then, and I'm going to take it from there. As the year goes on, I can come back and talk about this anytime, because I'm going to be talking about birth chart, throughout this whole year that's going to be my main point. If I don't get any other videos, if I don't go live to talk about anything else during the year, the main thing that I want to deliver to you guys throughout the year, every month, is I want to bring to you a different house in your birth chart. So again, for this first month in January, I still got to get my notes together. And I am going to be working to get that done. If I don't make any other videos and go live Any other time, for the rest of the month, so be it. But I do want to deliver upon my promise and talk a little bit, give you a basic understanding about your first house, the first house in your birth chart. And again, it's not going to be like an expert opinion, but it's gonna be enough to try to encourage you to look into your birth chart, because I'm telling you, when you look into it, you're going to be so surprised to see how accurate it is. I'm not going to be able to break down okay, well, if you have Sagittarius in this house, I'm not going to be able to look up all those different things, but I want to present it in such a way to at least let you know that it would be kind of, to me, I'm sorry, it'd be stupid not to look into it, because I'm telling you, the information that you are going to uncover just by looking at your birth chart, it is crazy accurate. I've had people say that, things were kind of, I'm thinking about somebody in my family, and there have been, other people that say it. Like, there's some people where they believe that things were pre-written for you before you were even born. Like, you're born into this life and things were already decided for you. You don't know it, but things were already decided for you. Okay. After looking into my birth chart, I believe that. You were given life at the time you were given life for a reason, and things were pre-written. Now that's what I gather. And I definitely believe it now, because when I look at my birth chart, I've looked into it enough to know this is my birth chart. I could show it to other people, friends, family, and everything. They'd be like, "Oh, yep, that's you." That there's no walking away from it. I may not like it. There's things in my birth chart, let me tell you, I don't like. But it's there. And by looking at it, I know it's mine. It's not anybody else's that I know. This is my birth chart. And, but it's also comforting in a way, because I'm like, okay, I know why I've done some of the stupid things I've done. I can't help it when I was born. Like, that's why I did those stupid things. Like, it was already written. Now, but at the same time, I also believe that if there is something that's not the best, being the inquisitive mind that I have, I'm a Gemini. When I looked at my birth chart, I'm like, wait a minute, is there a remedy to it? Especially, guys, I'm sorry. If you have any placements, any Saturn placements, and if you're watching this, if you know anything about Saturn energy, it's not easy. It's the teacher. It's like the teacher. It's the disciplinarian. Guys, I talked about Stranger Things, and I've talked about Stranger Things. When I talk about birth charts and things like that, one of the ways that I presented it was, you're talking about a birth chart, and again, I've said it, within your birth chart, there are 12 different houses. So the way that I did it, it's a couple of videos over. I did a live where I wanted to present the idea to all my viewers. And the idea was that the way that I wanted to start the conversation was by, there's 12 houses in your birth chart. So when I think about a house, the first thing I thought about, okay, was during the 12/12 portal. That was last month, the 12th month, 12th day. We had the 12/12 portal, the 12th month, 12th day. That's when I decided that I wanted to start the idea of talking about birth charts, and I wanted to bring it to you and let you guys know what I was going to be bringing to my channel and letting my listeners in on the main focus for 2026, what it was going to be. And the way that I delivered it to you was, okay, if we're going to be talking about birth charts and there's 12 houses, okay, well, during Christmas time, it is kind of like a ritual. I don't know if I should say it a ritual or whatever, but there are people where they like to have, they like to have a gingerbread house, right? And there's so many different gingerbread houses that you can pick from when you go to the store. Like, one year for the 12/12 portal, for whatever reason, I just, it's Christmas time, so there's gingerbread houses. Well, they had a Barbie cookie house. It wasn't a gingerbread house, but it was a cookie house. So I wasn't going live yet. It was a couple years ago. I wasn't going live, but I just decided, okay, I'm going to set up I'm going to, make a video where I'm going to be doing a little something with, I'm going to try to assemble or work with, the Barbie cookie house, because I love Barbie, right? I'm an adult, but I love Barbie. And, I talk about, Shadow Girl Sherry, and shadow work is often said to be working with your inner child, right? So, it's only fitting, I love Barbie, and I still love Barbie. Maybe it's an inner child thing, but I don't know. But, I did a gingerbread house, right? Or a cookie house, and it was a Barbie cookie house. But for last month, I decided, okay, at the time where everybody's going to be doing all these pretty little gingerbread houses and things like that, at Halloween, they had a cookie house, and it was a chocolate-like cookie house, but it was a Stranger Things cookie house, okay? And what it was the Creole house. And at that point, when I first found out about that Stranger Things had a house, I'm like, oh, I want that. So I want that house. I didn't get a chance to get it because, at that point, there was this, people, when I think it was November 1st, there was that thing where people's SNAP benefits were going to be taken away from them, right? Now, I don't have SNAP benefits, but I didn't want to go into the store and people are running around having a hard time, not knowing where their next meal is going to come from. And then I'm going to go to the grocery store and pick up a gingerbread house, right? I just didn't feel right about doing that. And I didn't get the cookie house, but at Halloween they came out. There was a Stranger Things version of a gingerbread house, but when it came out was obviously for Halloween. I wanted to purchase that house, and I wanted to use it for Halloween. But then I'm like, wait a minute, I could extend it out because I do credit myself on being creative. I'm going to talk about, your birth chart and the houses in your birth chart. And where I want to start is with that cookie house. And when I started talking about that, guys, I said, okay, this is how I'm going to present it. Guys, you got to go back and watch the video. I hope that you will choose to do that. I wanted to set it up to where I wanted to make it look real pretty and make it look, nice and inviting. And then, when you click on the video, once you click on the video, then you're going to open it up. And instead of seeing this beautiful little setup, you're basically coming into reality. Because, guys, just because a house is so beautiful, you could go to like some big, beautiful house and you think there's wonderful things going on in that beautiful big house. You don't know what's going on in that house. You go to these real nice neighborhoods. You don't know what's going on inside that house. You don't know if it's a happy home inside that house. It could be arguments out the whatever going on in that house. You might think that there's two people, that there's a married couple and they're so happy. You don't know what's going on. You don't know who's cheating on who. You don't know who's going and getting divorce papers, or maybe the couple's happy and maybe they're having a time with their teenage child, or you don't know what people are dealing with behind closed doors. So I wanted to set it up in a certain way, make it look so pretty. And then when you come inside, the way that you came inside obviously is because I fooled you and made it look pretty enough to where you click on the video. You click on the video and then you come inside and there's Stranger Things. And I know that might be a little bit dramatic because, it's fun. It's all in good fun. But guys, then I turned around and at that point I hadn't caught up on, everything in Stranger Things. And guys, I said, okay, this is going to be like coming into reading my birth chart, because that's what it was like when I read my birth chart. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I looked at it and I'm like, why is all this stuff so crazy in my birth chart? And then I'm like, wait a minute. I saw every tear I've ever cried in my birth chart. Like, it was already predetermined. There wasn't anything I could do about it. I saw it. I'm like, oh my goodness, look at that placement. Like, why me? Like, I'd love to go and, my mom's deceased, right? She's the reason why I really got into spirituality, right? Like her death and, how sad I was. And I had to do something, when I got into spirituality. But there's times like I'm just like, if she were still living, I'd love to show her my birth chart and be like, why did you guys pick the night or the time that you got with my dad on that time, and then now here I was born at this time, and now I got to deal with this birth chart. I got to live this life out because you guys, right? But it happened the way it happened, and now I got to deal with it. But the one thing about it is, being the way that I look at things in my mind and the way I think, I'm a Gemini, so that deals with, thoughts and your mind and communication and just the mind, right? Okay. The first thing that I thought about, after a little bit of looking at it and like, oh, this is so mixed up and everything, I definitely see the gifts that I have as well. And I see it. There's gifts in all the hardship that I've been through. Like there's a gift in it, right? But with all the hard, the placements and everything, the first thing that after a little bit, I gathered myself and I'm like, if this is so, is there a remedy to it? And it may not be perfect, but is there a remedy? Is there a way that you can work with the energy and make it work in the best way that you can work with it? And I looked it up, and yes, there are things that you can do to work the energy into a better way. And see, that's what my channel is all about. Yeah, I'm aware in life that life, we want to think that everything's going to be positive, but this is a world of duality. So not everything is going to be peaches and cream. Not everything is going to be what, I don't know, sexy sunshine. I don't know. It's not going to be glamorous all the time, right? But my idea is to rewrite it and transmute it in the best way that we can do it. If there's going to be something negative, we can all come together, work through it. And if it's negative, we can transmute it into the best that it can be turned into. We can take a negative and turn it into a positive. And that's what my channel is all about, right? So that's what I want to be able to work with. And basically that's what this is what I want to be working. I want to do no matter what throughout the whole year of 2025. And for this first month of January, I want to start with that first house and just explain it to you in the best way that I can explain it to you. It's not going to be perfect because I'm not a professional, but I'm telling you, I've looked into my birth chart enough to know that it's real. And if you look into yours, you're going to know that this is your birth chart, whether you like it or not. But the idea is you can change it. You can work with it. Instead of having it work against you, you can work with it and work for you. That's my idea. And I'm telling you, the younger you are, there's some people around me that are younger. And I'm just like, man, if I had somebody like me around when I was that age and they would have pointed me in that direction, I wonder where I would be now. But that's kind of how it goes. I had so many older people, teachers and things, and when I was in school, and they would just say, "You guys, you guys don't know how lucky you are." Like if I could go back and be your age and know what I know now, be your all's age and know what I know now, things would be so much different. And now I know exactly what those teachers and everybody was talking about because I'm looking at people, younger people, family members and things, in the family down the bloodline or whatever. And I'm like, man, if I could tell you anything, please listen to this. You may not listen to everything. I know that I'm not perfect. You're looking at me and you're thinking, oh, I don't want to necessarily be, doing the things that you do or have went through what you went through. But yeah, you don't want to go through everything I went through. And that's why I want you to listen to me because I'm telling you, don't do it this way. Do it this way. And I'm thinking things will be better for you. And if I could make that suggestion, I would love to get through and say, please look at your birth chart. When you look at it, you're going to know it's yours, but you can do something about it. We all can, but I'm telling the younger, it just seems like, oh man. So anyhow, guys, I'm going to continue with the notes, and guys, it's not going to be too long before I'm going to be wrapping up tonight. I'm long-winded. That is Shadow Girl Sherry. People in real life think I'm, that know me in everyday life think I'm so quiet, but I am quiet, but it's all about who I'm around. And, if I'm around people that I feel I can trust, and I feel like if you're listening right now, you're here for a reason, right? Because again, I don't advertise, but, If you're here for a reason. So I'm going to continue with this. Okay. So the spiritual keys to open doors are faith, prayer, obedience, and gratitude, which unlock divine opportunities, blessings, and breakthroughs by aligning one's life with God's will, moving beyond physical limitations to access spiritual realms, and transforming challenges into pathways for growth and provision, often through consistent spiritual practices like worship, seeking guidance, and a pure heart. Okay, core spiritual keys. Okay, faith, believing in God's promises and his ability to provide. Seeing beyond the seen to unlock miracles. Seeing beyond the seen, what you can see, okay? Believing in God's promises and his ability to provide. Seeing beyond the seen to unlock miracles and breakthroughs, okay? And this, it says it's in Hebrews 11:1, okay? And that makes me think again about, okay, Hebrews 11:1. It just makes me think of those at 111, because we just, here in this month of 2020, here in this month of January, we just had a portal that was on the 11th, on the first month, 11th day. First month, January 1st, or January, the first month, January the 11th. We had 3 ones back to back. The first month, 11th day. And right here, they're talking about Hebrews 11:1. So obviously, you see 3 ones, standing beside each other, right? Okay, so it just makes me think of that right now. And I just want to remind you that we just had that portal. And I can just remember what I did, how I used that portal. I was gathering my notes together to bring this information to you guys. But it got to the point where I realized that I wasn't going to get it together in time enough to deliver it in the way that I wanted to deliver it. So I decided that night that I was going to go ahead and finish up watching Stranger Things. And I watched the final episode of Stranger Things, and wow, guys, it just went through me. That episode, like, some people would look at it and think, oh, it was just a bunch of playing and everything, but wow, the way at first, when I was watching it, it got away from me a little bit, but I was wondering how they were gonna wrap it up, and they brought it together. They delivered it. They wrapped it up well, not necessarily the way I thought it was. It kind of left things open and things, but man, when it got to a certain point where, oh gosh, I won't even tell you, because maybe you haven't watched it, and I don't want to ruin it, but it just got to be emotional for me. I'm an emotional person anyway, but man, that they pull at my heartstrings, with that finale, to Stranger Things. And it's just when they broke down and they started playing Purple Rain, oh, I felt it. I felt it. It went through me, but maybe I'm just a sensitive type. I know I'm not the only person that it got to, though. And basically what I want to do, there were parts of Stranger Things that I didn't understand. But there's things that you can do where you can go back episode by episode and have it broke down. And really, I want to do that. That's how much of a fan I was, or I am. And, I want to tell you that the way that I got drawn to Stranger Things, I had knew about the show, and I'm like, I wonder what that's about. But it was a Shira 7 video. You probably know who Shira 7 is. She made the suggestion, and I'm like, it was her that where my videos kept popping up, and I found out, how I needed to do shadow work. And I'm Shadow Girl Sherry. I found out her videos kept popping up, and I found out that I needed to do shadow work. And she was talking, and I'm not saying I agree with everything she says, but I'm just saying, she had said something about Stranger Things, and that's why I started watching it. And I like the show, so I want to go back and have it episode by episode. I want to break it down so I understand it totally. And another show that I'm watching now, since that show's over with, Stranger Things, even though I want to go back and watch it episode by episode, break it down, whatever, so I understand everything. and that's the Mayfair witches. And I'm starting to see that some kind of things coming up in the Mayfair witches that makes me think of Stranger Things, because they keep talking about the power of your thoughts and your emotions and being in a memory. When you go and you think, you're inside of your mind, when you go back and you remember a memory, how real it feels to you. It really, when you think about something that, a time or something that happened and it really meant something to you, sometimes the only thing you got to do is go back to that memory and think about it, and it feels like you're actually there. You will start to feel the emotions depending on what it is. You'll feel the emotions from that time as if you were still living in that moment. And that is something that I keep seeing. It's a reoccurring theme in the Mayfair witches, just like it was when I was watching Stranger Things. So, but that's what I'm watching now is the Mayfair witches, and it's a little confusing as well. I want to watch each episode and have it, broken down. So, I just wanted to share that, but that's what I did on the first month, 11th day. Okay, so yeah. So anyhow, on guys, I'm almost finished up because I don't live alone, and yeah. Um, I always have to be respectful and everything. Families and things, we love each other, but then there's a thing where, in my house anyway, we all come together, we love each other, we watch TV shows and things together and things like that. But then we all kind of have our own separate interests that we have. And we all try to have a respect for that. Like, okay, I know that you're going to be wanting to do this at this time. You're going to be wanting to do this at this time. Or we're all doing different things, but we know that each one of us is happy because we're doing what we want to do, right? And we just have a respect for that. So I've got to have a respect that, yeah, it's getting to be kind of like bedtime. And, I love my channel when I get excited. And sometimes I get into it and I want to be kind of loud and whatever. And everybody's being real good and whatever. But when you live with people, you always have to be respectful, and I always try to be respectful anyway in everyday life. I think I'd like to think that people think that I'm a pretty respectful person. I try to be respectful, but sometimes in my life, it's gotten to a point where I don't want to be like the type of person where people can think they can just push me over either. Like, we need to be authentic. And when you're authentic, you stand in who you are, there's no need in people liking you. Um, you know, people need to know where you stand with things and who you are. Because when you are authentic and you're being who you are, then you're going to be with the people that they're real, because you're not lying. You're bringing the truth to the table. You bring the truth, and you want people to like you for who you really are, not for a lie. I think that's very, very important. It's important to be around people where they know who you are and you're with them and they like you and you accept each other, because there's no need in living a lie. You get what I'm saying? Because you'll have the wrong people in your life. You'll have the wrong people in your life. You're walking around, you're not being who you really are. Like, people around you and they like you and they don't even know who you are. So I hope that makes sense. But anyhow, okay, so core spiritual keys: faith, believing in God's promises and his ability to provide, seeing beyond the scene to unlock miracles and breakthroughs. This idea, there's an example, Hebrews 11:1. Okay. Other core spiritual keys to opening, other spiritual keys. Okay. Prayer and fasting, a powerful connection tool. Prayer and fasting, prayer and fasting together, prayer and fasting. This is a powerful connection tool. Asking, seeking, and knowing. No, I'm sorry. Prayer and fasting. These are powerful. This is a powerful connection tool. Asking, seeking, and knocking to open heaven and receive divine intervention and power. Matthew 7, 7 through 8, okay? Obedience, following God's commands, which unlocks blessings, favor, and prosperity, okay? Isaiah 11 and 19. I always like the name Isaiah. Okay. 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 Have I read this? Let me see if I've read this already. Yeah, I've read this already. And for whatever reason, I wrote down these words side by side, like put a little slash through them. But I thought about faith, how much faith or fate, FATE, and then I put a slash, and how much these two sound alike if you look at it. Okay, the words fate, there's fate, and maybe I'll have to come back and talk about that. But for whatever reason, when I was making the notes, I was just wrote these side by side, and I was kind of thinking about them, the difference between them, and then at the same time how much they sound alike. And I want to make sure that I kind of circle that, because I want to come back and talk about it some other time. But the idea of fate, FATE, and then slash, think about that word fate, FATE, and then at the same time thinking about faith, FAITH. So it's fate and then faith. I got to look into that, because I'm kind of wondering, why did I even write it down? There was some kind of point that I wanted to bring to you, but I got to kind of circle that and make sure that I come back some other time and talk about those two words, because I always kind of write notes to myself where I want to elaborate on it, but right now it's not coming to me why I wrote that down, those two words, and I put a slash in some other time. But anyhow, okay. So I have often consistent spiritual practice like worship, seeking obedience, gratitude, which unlock divine opportunities. I've already read that. And let's see, I have believe in God's promises, sing beyond. Okay, and I've read that. Guys, I'm working my way down now, and I'm so glad. I love when I take these notes, and I like to get everything finished up in one sitting. And then no matter how long it takes, and then I can move on to the next thing without, let me come back and talk about this. No, I'm going to finish this up tonight. And then next time I'll be able to come to you guys. And the main thing that I definitely want to be able to deliver, again, I've said it already. I want to deliver to you guys information about that very first house in your chart. And I do believe it's the house of self. Okay. I want to talk a little bit about that, as much as give as much detail as I can give to you. It's going to be very, very basic, but the idea is for me to have you know that it is definitely worth looking into your birth chart. It's definitely worth it, and it could change the way you see things. It could change the course for you. I'm telling you. I'm glad I looked into mine. So anyhow, so let me finish up my notes. I'm almost finished here, guys. And then, I'll release you guys, and then you can go and dream. And I don't know, put a key under your pillow and, say a little bit of some affirmations and pray about it and see what you dream about. Okay. But let me hurry up and finish, because I just got a little message from my family. Got to hurry. Okay. So this is my last notes. Gratitude and praise. A thankful heart opens doors to abundance, relationships, and honors God, breaking hindrances. Okay. 2 Chronicles 20:22. Repentance and forgiveness. Cleansing the heart removes spiritual blockages, allowing God's favor and righteousness to flow. God's presence and Holy Spirit, being aware of his presence and being aware of his presence and filled with his spirit grants power God's presence and Holy Spirit, being aware of his presence and filled with his spirit, grants power and access to divine realms. Okay. Lifestyle keys, actions and attitudes. Okay. Seek guidance. Actively look for God's direction in all decisions. Be proactive. Be proactive. Take steps of action aligned with faith. Purity of heart. A pure heart invites divine favor and opens doors. Speak God's word. Declare his promises over your life. Okay? Love and kindness. Show care and compassion to others. Okay? I'm almost done here. I think I have like one more page to go, and guys, and then I'm going to release you guys. Yep, this is it. Okay, so this is going to be the closing down here. And okay, walk in wisdom. Acknowledge the Holy Spirit for godly wisdom. And guys, I wrote this down, but I'm going to have to elaborate on it another time. This is just little notes. And I think I'm going to have to break it down some other time because I don't have time tonight. But I wrote down the idea of, and this is why I like to talk about things from down all different lines: religion, spirituality, a little bit of witchcraft, everything, because it's a discussion here. And there are points to all this stuff to where I see connections. But if you don't get around other people or you don't look into it, you may not see the connection. Like the different words are you like there. I've heard manifestation. I've heard that in church, okay? But then there's people that say that the law of attraction is wrong. Whereas the law of attraction, that same word is used again, manifestation, okay? I've heard it in church as well. So that's why I like to look through all of it, because there's similarities. It's just switched up. That's the way I see it. But anyhow, I looked at the word wisdom, and I've always thought that was a funny word, wisdom. Because you look at wisdom and it's spelled Wisdom, okay? But you have a word, whereas if you broke it up, you see the word whiz. In whiz, it makes you think about like being a whiz, like you're very, very smart, like whiz, like wise, right? And that makes me think about Stranger Things, Will the Wise, I think they called him, right? And you think about like a sorcerer or a wizard. Okay. But wise, that's in wisdom. And when you think about wise, you think about somebody being wise. But then you look at it, wisdom. And then you've got whiz, but right beside it, you've got the word dumb. I've always thought that's funny, like a play of words, or a play of a mixed up word or something. But it makes me think of also, some people look at blessings and they look at that as in a positive way, like blessings, like religious, like God and blessings. But then there's some people that look at the word blessings as in it's people are being fooled. Like if you look at, you've got B, but then right after it, you have lessings, like something is below something else, like less. Hear me out here. Blessings. Okay. So then there's some people that like to look at it. They don't like to say blessings because they think that you are taking the good things out and you're being fooled. And you should look at it, instead of saying blessings, you should say blessings. Like I'm blissed. My life is full of bliss. Okay. Whereas blessings is like below or less than. You get what I'm saying? And then I look at that word wisdom, and you think about knowledge, wisdom, knowledge, but then there's dumb in it. Okay. I just look into it, in the wizard, all that. But guys, this is Shadow Girl Sherry, and because of time and all that, I'm going to have to be shutting this live down. Guys, I want to thank everybody that's joined me tonight, because I can't wait to see how many people have joined me tonight. And right now, my phone is at 36%. I've been talking for so long, but when I look at those numbers, 36, it makes me think again of 369, because if you add the number, my phone's at 36% right now. But if you added 3 and 6 together, you get 9. And that is the number of change, right? And, I'd like to think that when I go live, I'm making a change. I'm putting something positive out there. And, we want to see positive changes in our life. That's what my channel is all about. Positive changes, right? So, guys, I want to leave you with that. I want to thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. I've had so much fun delivering this message. I hope that you enjoyed this live as well, in the same way that I have enjoyed delivering it to you. And I hope that you felt like we're a team here. Like we're doing this together. That's my idea, and it's all about uplifting each other. And yeah, it's a journey. So guys, I want to thank everybody this joined me. I can't wait to see how many people join this live tonight. I'm going to be shutting down here in just a little bit. Again, like every time when I go live, it's been like a little bit of a pause from the last time I went live. So I've got to again figure out exactly how to shut down. But that's basically what I'm doing right now. You're going to hear me mumbling and trying to figure out what I'm doing. But basically, this is going to be the end of the live. I want to thank everybody that you've been with me for however long you joined me tonight. I see a Dan that has joined me. I see a Dan. I see a Dan. I see a Gary Wiggins. I see a Foxy Roxy. I see a Mary M. Guys, I want to thank you guys, everybody, for joining me tonight. This is Shadow Girl Sherry, and I'm going to be shutting down for tonight. I want to thank you guys for joining me in just a little bit. I got to figure out how to do this. But I want to thank you guys so much for joining me tonight. Let me see what I'm doing here. Oh boy. Okay, let me see what I'm doing here. I'm messing up my little lineup here. Oh, no, I'm not marking anything. What am I doing here? Guys, I hope I didn't do something stupid. I don't know what TikTok just said or whatever, but I touched my screen. I hope I didn't do anything wrong. Okay, oh boy, how do I do this? Oh man, what? Guys, I don't know what, if I tap it? Guys, I'm trying to figure out this happens to me every time. I forget how is this it? Okay. Guys, I think I figured it out now. This is going to be Shadow Girl Sherry signing out. Yeah. Guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me. I love you guys. This is going to be it. Guys, good night and take care. Okay, please stay, all your viewers generally. Oh, guys, it says in live and it says please stay. All your viewers genuinely appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. I've got to shut down tonight and now, just for, out of respect for everybody that I live with. But guys, I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. That's so encouraging. Please, it says in live, please stay. All your viewers genuinely appreciate you. Guys, I appreciate you too, guys. I love you guys. You don't know the encouragement that you guys give me. You guys are the candle that's burning right now, really. And I hope that I'm the same for you. This is Shadow Girl Sherry signing out. I hope that you'll choose to like, click, share, all that different stuff here on TikTok, and do the same. Join me over on my channel, Sunset Songs, on YouTube. And I can't wait till I get to the point to where I'm joining both my TikTok. I got to figure out how to do it. I got to figure out how to join my TikTok and my YouTube together. So whenever I go live, I'm being heard. I'm not only going live on TikTok, but I'm also going live on YouTube as well, because I really got to get that fire going over on YouTube. I just haven't figured out how to do it yet, but I'll get there. Guys, this is Shadow Girl Sherry signing out. Please join me on my channel, Sunset Songs on YouTube, and make sure you got the right Sunset Songs, because there's so many different sunset songs on YouTube. You want to click, and when you hear Shadow Girl Sherry, the law of attraction, all that's when you know you have the right one. Okay. And this is going to be Shadow Girl Sherry signing out. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I can't wait to see how many people join me tonight. I had so much fun. Guys, I love you guys. Good night and take care.